Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. I'm going to keep it $1.50 with you all. The video idea that I had for today was to be looking forward to the exchanges that are dropping today inside FC26. Even if we do think they might be kind of mid, it's going to finally give us our first taste of an unlimited, repeatable SBC pack grind. But this tweet has completely changed all of that. We have got to have a conversation about how EA literally just admitted that they have been nerfing SBCs in FC26. We'll talk about the reason why and why they would even do this and how frustrating it is to finally have an answer as to why SBCs have been so mid. But we've gone so far this year feeling that SBCs were so mid, and now we've just gotten our answer. Guys, get the popcorn out because it is honestly not looking good on Twitter right now. It is a lot of frustration. I'm feeling the frustration myself because how can you read what was put out yesterday and feel good about it? There's only one good thing, and it's the fact that they actually communicated. But other than that, oof, no bueno. Now, we're going to talk about Futties Team 3 that's also coming out tomorrow. We have the full team leaked plus a couple of official stats. Even an SBC player that's going to have 99 pace and 99 dribbling, but is he going to be a good card? We'll talk about that. And we got to discuss the FC27 beta. I don't have a code. I haven't played it yet, but there's screenshots and news all over Twitter. And I have a couple of bug fixes and even a glitch, I think, that's been tweeted out that I want to cover with you guys. I know we're not supposed to talk about and show the beta, so I'm not going to do that, but I want to at least discuss some things. So if you're having issues in the game, you might know how to get those resolved. Let's discuss everything, guys. If you're excited for it, drop a thumbs up the video, hype the video, and subscribe if you are new. Now let's look over yesterday's content first, of course, real quick by going through the new evolution that we had called the Year of Fullbacks. And the first player that showed up for me yesterday when this Evo popped up after content was Kyle Walker, which I kind of found amusing because this is kind of a ode back to when right backs like Kyle Walker were played out of position in FIFA 21 at center back, and that was the super overpowered thing to do. That's the whole point of this Evo. Yet again, it's another shapeshifter type Evo giving the center back position and some very center back-esque play styles. Now for Kyle Walker, it doesn't make sense to do this Evo on his time warp card or the whatever he's got because he has a Futties, but for another player that has left back or right back that you might want to turn into a center back, this is a pretty unique one. I'm not entirely sure who I want to put into this, if I'm being honest. Grimaldo is the #1 card on my mind, but that's just making a left back already better in my team and not necessarily putting somebody into the center back position that would actually be pretty good for it. Now, there are a lot of cards that get good boosts through here. There's a nice Maldini chain from his Team of the Year icon. Gareth Bale can fit into this as well. Doesn't get the defensive playstyles, but you could literally put Gareth Bale straight into this if you pack him and have a center back Gareth Bale that would have rapid and finesse, but he'd also have anticipate and intercept. So a very interesting and unique Evo there. It is free and it doesn't take that many games, so that is nice. Have some fun with that if you wish. Now let's go to SBCs and look at one cheap player SBC once again. Like we said yesterday with the Thorgan Hazard, this Jens Peter Hogg might actually be worth completing with the unlimited repeatable grind of exchanges, or the exchange SBC that is expected to come out today because it's only an 87 rated squad and one of those 3 special card types, just because that's really easy to get done for a 96 rated player. So nothing crazy there, but maybe some good fodder. We also had the 1 of 3 Futties Team 2 player pick. Doesn't include icons, but it is cheaper than the Team 1 player pick, and it's repeatable 3 times every 2 days, which is honestly not bad. I'm pretty sure the Team 1 player pick was only repeatable once because I did it once right before the content drop yesterday when the Team 1 player pick went away, and that was all that I could do unless I'd already completed it previously. I think this is the first one that's repeatable multiple times. So that was our SBC content yesterday. It is worth mentioning that the swaps SBCs did refresh. That's 83 tokens all the way up to 91 rated token swaps. So if you need some tokens still this week, they can count for your this week token allotment. Of course, the Futties tokens refresh that limit of 1,000 every single Friday. So if you need more tokens, I would think about getting those done. If you do not need more tokens, like where I'm at, already hitting my 1,000 limit for the week, I won't be doing those SBCs until after Friday when we get some new rewards in here and we have our new weekly limit reset. Now, I do want to talk about the beta because that was technically part of yesterday's content, as a lot of people, maybe even you right now, are playing the FC27 beta because it is out. There's some matchmaking issues, server issues, PC issues. Who's surprised? Not me. FIFA U team here on Twitter is posting a couple of really helpful guides. So if you want to check out their Twitter, I guess the squad foundation player that they give you at the beginning, which I haven't played it because I don't have a code yet. Hopefully I get one. But the squad foundation player will allegedly not allow you to get into a match. And if you also don't have the ultimate team mode, there's a way where you can like invite somebody to a rush match and get into the lobby and then back out, and then you will have ultimate team mode until you power off your console. Then you have to do it again. But if you don't have access to ultimate team, you can get it. So just take a look out there on their Twitter page because there is some useful info there. A lot of people are playing the beta now, even instead of FC26, because it's got all the new features and stuff. And if you got a code and you're like, Nate, is this really worth playing? I would say that it is, because it does give you a little bit of a leg up in just being able to see the new menu system, maybe the new SBC system you get to get some hands-on experience with. And that's a little bit of an advantage, I'll be honest, when there's new features like that SBC system, like the gallery and other stuff like that, that are coming in FC27. So I would recommend getting involved there. I guess I did forget to cover one thing of content that dropped yesterday. We had a 625k pack dropped in the store tradable. And of course, that means that Futties cards have dropped. Now, I do think there are players from this team like Pfeiffer, for maybe like 18,000 or 17,000 coins, close to minimum price. Actually, she's back up now. She was 19,000 coins after that pack dropped. Reece James was like 250k. I think some of these cards from Team 2 of Futties could be good investments. We saw how good Team 1 did. So if you want to invest in a player or two from Team 2, I think you could. I picked up a Modric for like 930,000 coins. Looks like right now he's still close to 1 million or maybe just under. But I think that some of those Futties cards could be a good investment. Now let's get into the big conversation, guys. And that is this Bombazo tweet here from Jamie Foot Economist. We've seen a lot from him lately, heard a lot from him lately, as he has been very communicative ahead of FC27. We'll see how that maintains itself throughout the year, but at least we're getting some communication. Now, this communication was unexpected, and really, you can't read this and not get upset. Let's just read it and talk about why it is frustrating people. Jamie Foot Economist says, let's talk about SBCs in FC26. Relatively speaking, those that used third-party tools could generate fodder and make squad progress in a way that was unbalanced compared to those that didn't use the tools. What he's talking about here is Pale Tools, Foot Genie, FC Enhancer, any of these third-party web app extensions that were allowing you to create SBCs super fast, or basically rinse your club in a way where you could get SBCs done in a much shorter time than if you were actually doing them on the game using the squad builder or building them on the companion app or whatever. This has actually made SBCs so easy to do, and it's so nice to do with these third-party extensions. I really have not been using these myself. Like, I haven't used a third-party extension until the last 2 weeks. That is when I started using these. I tweeted about that. I'll talk about that in a second. These we thought were maybe bannable offenses in the past. It was rumored that EA employees were even using them themselves, but really the problem here is the SBC system is so outdated. I'm getting too far ahead of myself. Let's keep reading. To help protect against this creating a significant unfair advantage, we tuned down the overall experience. Example, the upgrades on SBC player items or the repeatability of upgrade SBCs. They say they had to nerf SBCs and the packs that we were getting because people were able to do so many using those tools that it was creating an unfair advantage for those who didn't know about those tools and weren't able to use them. But what it has made, guys, is SBCs feel so lackluster for so long this year. Part of what makes me frustrated about this is we finally got an answer for why SBCs have been bad for so long. Like, I think back to Team of the Season, and I think to like, I could count on one hand the number of good player SBCs we had during Team of the Season, which during Team of the Season is crazy. We had Di Maria and Leonard Carl during Bundesliga Tots. Those were the two best player SBCs during Team of the Season, in my opinion, and that's crazy that I can only name two, because in previous years of Team of the Season, we would have multiple banger player SBCs each and every week. And you think about some of the upgrade packs right now as well. Last year in June, we had our first exchange packs called the Squad Shifters. I know this year the power curve slowed down a little bit, but from August 6th, where we are now, back to June 18th or whatever it was in FC25 for the exchanges to be that late, and for upgrade packs in general, a lot of ways to be behind where they were last year, all because of extensions and a unfair advantage that those really make in the game. That's really frustrating, because the frustrating thing here isn't the extensions. Either ban the extensions, EA, because these are, as a couple of people have commented down below this post here, they are against terms of service. Like, technically using those is against the rules, but they haven't been banning people for those. So why would you not use those? That's kind of why I opted to start using them. I usually like to abide by the rules. I like the fair play, all that sort of thing. But in this situation, the problem is the game. So big of a problem that the SBCs system that we have is so outdated that people had to make in the community a better way to get these SBCs done, because the way we do them in game is so outdated for what the actual SBC feels like. You know, an unlimited repeatable upgrade pack with odds, which what they're saying here is that odds and pack weight, that's at least how I understand it, was nerfed. The SBCs entirely and the stuff that you got inside of them was nerfed so much because people could do so many of them and they would have an unfair advantage. The system that we do SBCs in is the problem. And EA, instead of realizing that, which I guess now they kind of have, and we'll talk about that in a second, but instead of doing something about it before FC27 came out and before this stage of the game, maybe working with a Pale Tools or a Foot Genie and saying, hey, you guys have a really good product, right? Right now, our SBCs are not up to par. Let's partner. The Pale Tools guys have been tweeting about how they would love to partner with EA to make the game better for everybody, because that's why all of these tools were created, to make the game better and more enjoyable, because the systems that we have in the game aren't working. So instead of working with those guys, they've said, oh man, our system's not good enough. We're going to have to nerf the players and nerf the packs instead, so that the gap between those who use those extensions and those who don't doesn't get too big. I'm all for there being a level playing field. That's what he says here. Our end state goal is that all players operate on an even level playing field. But man, they really messed up SBCs this year. When you look at it now, it just makes you so much more upset, because you finally have an answer as to why player SBCs this year have not felt worth it, and why evolutions have dominated, because they actually are staying with the power curve, and there's no way to really, besides the playstyles lab, which these extensions help you put playstyles on your player faster now too, which that is another pain point that a person in the community or people in the community have found a good way to actually make it quicker and faster, rather than using the system that there is in game. Like, that's why evolutions have been so much better than SBCs this year. And it's just really frustrating to see this actually play out. So, man, I don't know. There's a lot of people that are creating some really good tweets and asking a lot of good questions off of this. This is why I said I'm starting to use these tools again. And normally this is not something that I would really come out and say, because it is against terms of service, but they're not banning people for it. And they're publicly saying that those things are one of the reasons why they nerfed SBCs. And these tools have been around for years, guys. They've been around for years. They just got so big this year and so popular that it became such a big, I think, disadvantage to those who aren't using these tools, that they had to actually do something about it. That's why I tweeted this. I really hope that this does not happen again in FC27, because if it does, I mean, it's going to be even more frustrating. We have this new SBC system, which is supposedly going to be a removal of the friction in the legacy SBC experience, which I see it, right? And I even said this when some of the updates were dropped for Ultimate Team. I even made a tweet, like my thoughts on how the Ultimate Team trailer went. Streamlined SBCs is a W. Almost seems like EA's move to get rid of extensions. I don't think extensions are going to go away. I think extensions are going to find the weak spots in this new SBC system and allow us to maybe even exploit those. Exploits may be too harsh of a word, but like be able to better use the new SBC system in its own self. That probably won't be figured out right away, but it will be figured out, I'm sure, a couple of weeks or months after FC27 does come out. But that's almost what this feels like, is these extensions being too big of a problem, and EA actually updating the SBC process and realizing and saying, hey, you know what? our SBCs are bad. So instead of nerfing the SBCs, we are going to actually make a better system. That is one of the only positive points from this, is that the hope of those to be good in the future is there. Again, it's not guaranteed. We'll have to see how that goes. And I will say the only other positive thing about this is that they're actually still communicating, because let's be honest, how in the world was EA going to tell people that they nerfed SBCs this year and think that people were going to be okay with it and that they were going to be happy? Like, no. Like, the fact that they're still coming out and saying this, they knew they were going to get a lot of heat, rightfully so. But at least respect for them for be putting that information out and for actually owning up to it in a way and saying what happened. So GG's there. But guys, let me know in the comments. That was like as close to a rant video, I guess, as you get from TFA. But I'm frustrated with this, man. I really am frustrated, because it really feels like our SBC experience in FC26 was ruined because of EA's inability to either stand on their terms of service and ban tools, or create a better system for SBCs instead of nerfing the content and kind of dragging us along without us having an answer for why we had bad content in SBCs for so long until now at the end of the year. So that's crazy. Can't believe that it came out yesterday and that we're talking about that, but that is absolutely wild. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments on that. Now, we do have the hope of exchanges, all right? And that's why I'm also a little bit worried about what's upcoming with exchanges, because of what he just talked about there. Exchanges for the past 2 years have started great, got a little bit worse, and we're a little bit different, and now we're going to go to another level lower, I think, based on the leaks that we have. But before we talk about that today, we got to know what is going to be impacts on Friday for the next team of Futties. What are we going to be doing this unlimited packer grind for? Now, this is the full list of players that are leaked. This is not the official stats. We do have a couple official stats. We'll talk about that in a second. Saliba, Olise, Marquinhos, Cherki, Barella, Olivier Giroud. I'd actually be interested in trying that card. Ter Stegen, now at Ajax. I forgot yesterday on stream when I looked at this leak that he was no longer in La Liga, that he was going to be in the Eredivisie. But De Ketelaere, Mbumo, Musa, Hemp, Gomez, Van de Beek, Patrick Guajardo, Balde, Openda, and Kieta Balde are involved in this as well. And then the rest of the team looks all right. Hossam Aouar, FIFA legend, is involved in this promo as well. Kenny Lala, you could say, is a FIFA legend too. It looks like an okay team, let's be honest. Like, there are some nice players in here, and once we see the official stats, we'll probably get a good idea of who some of the best ones are. And for those official stats that we do know a couple of the 99s. Cherki, Olise, and Marquinhos. And you know what? Fair play, because those are 99 rated looking cards. 99 defense and physical on Marquinhos, 99 dribbling and pace on Olise with 97 shooting, 98 passing. That is disgusting in a good way, for being honest. That Cherokee card also looks absolutely insane. And then Patrick Guajardo is going to be a 96. But we know the 99s are virtually impossible to pack. Here's the SBC player that I mentioned in the intro, though. Doku, 99 pace, 99 dribble. Little low on the shooting and passing for this stage of the game, but with 99s in those two areas, if this is a somewhat affordable player SBC, we're talking like the same price as Eusebio. Maybe not quite as expensive as Eusebio, because that wouldn't say that card's as good. So let's say it's like 9 squads, I would be there. If it's like 300K, 200K, I would be there for Doku with the pace and with the dribble. That might actually be an interesting SBC to do. So those are the only official stats that we have right now. I'm sure there are going to be more leaked soon. Now, this is the Futties team number 3 of icons that has been leaked. Again, predicted stats, but it's probably safe to say Zidane and Cruyff would be 99 rated. Beckenbauer, Cici, Thuram, Gerrard, Batigol, De Rossi, Carragher, and Bompastor are all heroes and icons that are going to be impacts for Team 3 coming tomorrow. And the last list of players that we have to look at here is for next Thursday. Of course, there's 1 week left in this current season pass. Next season will be the last season pass of the game, and it will give us a lot of FC27 rewards. But 99 Vieira, most likely, 99 Alexia Putellas, most likely as well, are going to be some of the players that will be featuring in this footy season pass. As you can tell here, it's a lot of transferred players. Andre Santos, Jimenez, Casemiro, Adiemi, Wilson actually might be entirely a team of transferred players except for Cordoba and Vieira. So that is the upcoming season pass. We'll have official stats, I'm sure, for those here in the future. But right now, that's just something to know that is coming in 1 week. Now, let's talk about today, guys, on Thursday, because yes, it is exchange day, and I am excited. But after seeing that SBC tweet and thinking all about it, I'm a little bit less excited for virtually a new provisions pack that is going to turn into the exchange SBC today. This provisions pack, by the way, doesn't look like it's going away. It expires in 15 days. We'll see if anything there changes, but no new leaks about exchanges, guys, except for they're coming today. It is one singular exchange SBC, and I'm going to make a prediction for the actual requirements. He says here, and we talked about this yesterday, that the 87 to 90 upgrade is returning to help with the grind. That makes me think it's at least a guaranteed requirement of an 87 rated card that we will have to turn in, and he says 4 of them at least for this exchange SBC. So my guess is we're going to have to turn in 4 87 or 88 rated players to get this exchange pack done, unlimited, repeatable. And the only thing that I want to mention about that is 87s are like 1,200 coins, 88s are like 1,800 coins. Since those are so cheap, I know that it's August and it's the late game, but people might go to the market and just start snatching up a bunch of these to do the exchange SBCs. So if you wanted to try to win some of these on bid for like 1,000 coins, maybe 1,100 coins, I think you could do that. We do have Division Rivals rewards today, which won't supply the market very much, but maybe we'll bring in like a little bit of supply. Last Thursday, these really didn't go down with rewards. They actually went up a little bit, it looks like. So if you can get these on bid for 1,000 coins or less, I would go for it. And 88s as well for the low 1K range, like 1.2 to 1.3, because those could move a little bit today as well if the 87s and 88s are actually required inside of this exchange pack. So I'm excited to get an unlimited SBC grind going. We're going to have a new grind that will be starting today. Of course, guys, we'll be kind of looking out for that, what the best grind will be. We can kind of imagine it right now. Think about putting all your gold commons into the 80 plus times 5, all of your gold rares into the 84 plus player pick, and then once you get players out of that, all of your 87s and 88s will probably go into the exchange SBC so that you can get more rares and commons to keep doing that grind, right? Commons back into the 85 and rares back into the 84 plus player pick. That's really how the grind should change. We're just going to be very cognizant of the 87 and 88s that we pack. Hopefully they don't require 89s, but that is the big piece of content for today, guys. Exchange SBCs. Also today, we still haven't had the Sissoko player SBC, so looking out for him. He could be dropped today as the last Team 2 of Futties SBC, or he might even be during Team 3. We'll have to see. And then, of course, we're getting daily evolutions as well, so I would imagine we would get some sort of Evo piece of content today. Actually, you know, sometimes on Thursdays, we get like genuinely good Evos. I think that's worth mentioning. Do we have any free ones expiring today? Yeah, we have Cultured Commander that expires. Center back Evo max 95. So, you know, not saying that we're going to get a good one to replace that, but there could be a decent Evo today on Thursday. We will have to see. And then the last thing content-wise that I want to discuss is SP. We kind of already mentioned it, right? The season pass is ending. The season... Spain and Portugal SP Chase is out for another week still. So if you haven't got this done, there is a very hefty chunk of SP right here. But I would expect maybe even another objective today and other objectives elsewhere that we'll be releasing that would give SP in the next couple of days. So if you need to catch up, once again, that should be a very, very easy way to do that. And as I already mentioned as well, once you get to level 30, you will unlock an 82 by 5 pack for FC27. It's really hard because like I was looking on this little info square here for where I would tell you that where you're getting that pack, and like they have not advertised it very well that this season, completing the season, gives you a FC27 pack. They've really not advertised it at all. So I wanted to make that really known. I'll tweet about that again today as well, just so you guys know. And remember, get to level 30 and get that pack in FC27. The last thing that I want to look at is some FC27 news since we're on that topic. Oh my goodness, guys. Another thing that was making the community frustrated yesterday. EA's not doing themselves any favors, guys. I know I just went to Vancouver. I got to meet all these guys that work on the game, and they're genuinely good dudes, okay? They really love the game. They really care about the game. But some of the decisions that are coming out of that building, like, what's going on with this pack animation, man? All right? I mean, it is a long pack animation, one of the longest that I've ever seen for a walkout. Now, there's another animation for non-walkouts that is way shorter, and it's not as bad. I don't mind this animation after the first 19 seconds. Like right when we get right here, I guess it's 16 seconds. This is kind of cool, where you have the club and then it opens up, boom, and there's the card, and then all of a sudden it flashbangs you closer to the card, which I don't understand. I don't know why we just don't continue in closer, zooming in on the card, but we go boom, flashbang, the card's there. I can get past that, I guess. The thing that I don't like, though, that I noticed yesterday is this SBC score. That looks tacky to me. I don't care about the SBC score of my card right away when I pack it. I'm not thinking about how I'm going to turn in 91 Jude Bellingham into an SBC or even put it into the gallery where that SBC score is going to matter. I'm thinking about this sick card that I just packed that was a walkout. So that's the thing that I'm a little frustrated with. A lot of people, of course, don't like the drones and the slow moving back and forth to finally get to the animation. But it's that plus the SBC score for me that just doesn't make it hit. I'm not surprised in a positive way by that one there. Also, yesterday, we saw another pack animation kind of confirming with a screenshot from the beta, I believe, that it's not just like informs or anything crazy. That card looks really jacked up, by the way. I don't know what's going on there, but it is going to be all cards, we think, at least all walkouts that will show your SBC score down there at the bottom of the design. And then also we had some tweets about feedback. And I guess the real thing to note here, guys, is that when the FC27 feedback portal does open up, make sure you get involved with it. I know we talk about the feedback portal all the time, and I know that a lot of people don't feel like it's worth it to be sending their feedback into EA, but the feedback portal is a good place to send your thoughts. Even if you're really frustrated about something, word it in a nice way and send it in. Even if it's about this SBC stuff that is going on right now, send that in. Write something up in a nice, respectful way. Turn it into the feedback portal. I don't think the FC27 feedback portal is opening yet, but if you want to read more about that, you can hear from their tweet yesterday. I even believe there was a patch that was going to drop as well. I think that was tweeted out yesterday too. Version 1.6.6. Sorry for the flashbang right there. It's still Pro Clubs updates from when Pro Clubs hasn't been having so many issues. So, guys, that's the video for me today, man. Yeah, the SBC situation just leaves a bad taste in everybody's mouth. It really does. I don't really think there's too much positive that comes out of that. All we can hope for is that the SBCs in 27 are better, and the SBC system that they are bringing in does actually level the playing field a little bit and does not create a situation where there could be an unfair advantage. I don't have a problem with the tools. I mean, like I said, I'm using them now because honestly, for this end game grind, it makes everything so much better and so much easier, and you can open way more packs. But yeah, we're going to have to see, man. Man, wow. I don't even know what to say. That was just a surprise tweet yesterday. It is up to 600,000 views, and it's going to go over 1 million. This has the potential to be an all-timer FC tweet right there. Anyway, guys, that's the video for me. If you did enjoy it, drop a thumbs up on it. Comment down below if you have any questions, and subscribe if you do, and I'll see you guys in a stream today. Happy Thursday. It's been TheFutAccountant. See you there. Peace out.